Thank you, guys. Thank you, Claudia Cooley, for being here for our From Here to There speaker series.
I love it.
And the idea behind the speaker series is we get people who have been there, and the students in our classrooms want to get there, and they're here, and every week I make up something new about why we call it From Here to There.
I love it.
So, Claudia, the first question I want to ask you, first of all, some of your bio. Claudia is a business coach. She started out by working with Disney.
Well, actually, it was my second gig after I'd already had a franchise, a successful franchise.
Okay, and you're an author. You've got your books here.
4 bestsellers,
Four
number 1.
bestsellers. You had a radio program.
Yep.
So Claudia's got some serious business chops, and one of the things that you've got chops in are creating your own job when no one is giving you a job description to take or leave. So can I ask you, just as an opening question, what is it like, or how do you think about the job market when you don't want to take a job that's built for just anybody to take? You want to create your own job. What has that experience been like for you?
Well, first of all, let me ask you, anybody feel you're entrepreneurial in here? Okay, cool. So you'll understand what I'm speaking to. So entrepreneurs don't look at a job as a job. They look at it as an opportunity to create something within it for themselves. Actually, in the middle of my life, I taught high school. And that's kind of the first time I had an employer, but I didn't see it that way because I had my own classroom and I ran it as I wanted to. And then 22 years, they didn't kick me out. So anyway, so it was okay. But the point is, if you can create an atmosphere that suits your personality and what I really feel is your purpose, your God-given purpose and design, you're going to thrive. That's where you want to create a space that's God's design. We arrived on this planet with a purpose already. He had us designed for it. Some other day, have me back and let me tell you how I know that for sure. But in this God-given design, your purpose is important, that you find out what that is and then work within that, create what you want. It might be a job, it might be a job. It could be your own business. I'm business-minded, have always been since I was 4 years old. So, and it wasn't even a lemonade stand. It was even a bigger deal than that. But the thing is, I was raised by an entrepreneur. My father was an entrepreneur. He had owned all the packing houses, citrus packing houses in Corona. And then when he married my mom, which was the second marriage for both of them, he decided to eliminate a lot of stress and just focus on a family. So we had just one service station, and I grew up where the Bank of America is in Grand Terrace. So I'm not far from where I started. So anyway, in that regard, he was passionate about people and being an entrepreneur. And he took me fishing every Saturday morning. I still had a hairnet in my head, and we went to Fairmount Park, and we would go fishing. And he would share all of this passion with me from young on. He died when I was 11, and that sounds sad. However, he had so equipped me with this passion that I could move forward. And my mom wasn't well, so I went to work at 12.
Oh, wow.
So it's just something that gets instilled in you that you just feel has to be fulfilled. But you know what? God knew the plan. He knew that my dad was going to be this important piece. He knew when I was going to need to step into my own, using my own abilities, and he made sure I was equipped.
So what was your first, how did you find work as a 12-year-old? What was that?
Well, interestingly enough, because my dad really taught me a lot about business, and I had my first business at 4. And that sounds really ridiculous, but I grew up in Grand Terrace, which was a little more country. I lived across from a walnut grove. And I didn't go pick up walnuts and go sell them. I'm not a salesperson, I'm a marketing person. Anybody in here in marketing, like marketing, love marketing? Yeah, okay. You and I are on the same page, I can feel it. Anyway, and so I would go take orders and then go fill them. I was a fulfillment and distribution. Take orders, fulfillment, and distribution. But then I would drag my little gunny sack in the walnut grove and pick up the walnuts and then go home, had my little lunch sacks of brown paper bags, Crayola all over them because I'm marketing. I didn't even realize that this talent was already in me till I look back. But I was Crayola, and then I go out and pick flowers from my mom's garden to decorate them. So now my branding's in place, right? And so now I go up and down the street delivering these orders. My business got so big at 4 to about 5.5. When I started school, about 5.5. There was no kindergarten, by the way, when I started school. But next year, the first year in school, there was a kindergarten. That's how old I am. Anyway, and so I would go deliver. I finally needed help, so I enlisted my 2 friends, because we lived out in the country. I was in the country then, and they had their tricycles, and we had our little wagons, and we would deliver. So I had my distribution center and my workforce.
At 4?
At 4 and 4.5. And I knew how to roll coin before I knew anything about math. I just know how I like to feel money. Anybody in here like to feel money? I love feeling money. I love making money. I don't necessarily, I'm not fanatic about spending it, but I really like making it and figuring out ways to do that. So that's what we did. And then I would roll the coin, go to the bank, have my little savings passbook. I would stretch up there and put it up there for them to put the new number in and take my money and give me my passbook. All I could see was the number was bigger. I didn't know anything about math.
It was a bit of a game to you.
Yeah.
You just wanted,
to me, this is all a game, you guys.
You're
it's
out
nothing.
To win the game.
And it's fun.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
Right.
Yeah.
When you think of it that way, and getting a little philosophical, but if you think of sometimes business is just a bit of a game that you're playing, then winning and losing loses some of its importance or significance, right? Winning is fun, but losing doesn't kill you, and losing doesn't mean you're a bad person. Losing doesn't make you a loser, you know. Losing just means, okay, I lost that round. I'm going to do something different and try to win the next round, you know.
And that's exactly, because you had asked me to come, I'm not sure which one of you, but had asked me to come and talk about failures and how I handle failures. I admitted right then and there, failures? You know, I'm not real familiar with failures because it might look as if I had failed at something, but I don't think of it that way. It's part of the game. Let's move the puzzle pieces around. What can we do to make this right? What's the solution? I was doing this young because it's fun.
Yeah.
And I still do it.
So fast forward to when you're in your early 20s, you know, these guys' age, college age. What were you doing then? What was your life like then? How were you playing the game?
Actually, I was playing a different game. I actually met Mr. Wonderful when I was just turning 17, Mr. Cooley. Oh, I get goosebumps still. I'm not kidding you. I did. I just got a chill. I just got a chill. No. I was a cheerleader at Colton High. He was home from college, from Cal Poly, and he was going to go to Valley for a semester because he didn't have good enough grades at Cal Poly. And that was such a gift. One of my old boyfriends said, you need to meet Dale. And he told Dale he needed to meet me. And I was at the game, and he came down out of the stands. I can still remember how he looked that day. He's so cute, isn't he? I mean, he's just so cool. And she knows him. And he had on a London fog coat. I mean, I was dating the football captain, which now that I look back, probably was a little bit of a jerk. But, you know, he had a neat Letterman sweater I could wear, which I looked really cute in. But anyway, so, and I meet him, and oh my gosh, he took my breath away. And then 2 weeks later, he'd asked me to go out. And because I wasn't going steady, it wasn't really a bad thing to go out with somebody else. So I went out with him, and it was my birthday. I turned 17. He brought a birthday gift. George forgot. So it was bye-bye, George, and hello, Dale. So, but anyway, at that point, you girls and guys, I fell in love. But I actually had won the Bank of America scholarship, because you'll never guess from what. I won the California state competition for speaking. And who would have known? I did, yes. So I won the Bank of America scholarship. I didn't get to use it because I wanted to get married, and I was going to put Mr. C through school. So that became my priority, and that's what I did. So I finished putting him through school. We started our family, and then I had 3 children by the time I was 28. And then then it was my turn. I mean, then it was kind of like opportunity. You know what, guys? It's about opportunity and paying attention to it.
So let me just interrupt.
But that's what I did in my 20s. I was a mom. I was a wife.
And how did you see yourself? I mean, I'm
I
looking
loved
at
being
4
that.
of your books, but how did you see the rest of your life as being a mom?
You know what I wanted? I wanted to be Leave It to Beaver's mom, June Cleaver.
Okay.
I wanted to mop the floor in high heels and a dress. I mean, I wanted to play bridge with the ladies. That was what I dreamed of. Knight in shining armor was going to ride up, and I wasn't going to. That was what I was going to be my life. But it didn't unfold that way. But it still has been charmed somehow. God has just opened up. But you guys, I would not have been the same if I'd stayed in that place. Nothing wrong with that place. But I would not have been the same. But what happened was opportunity came my way that was aligned with my own purpose, my God design that I was just talking about. And when that opportunity came my way is when my first balcony person showed up.
Okay, hit it.
Okay, balcony people. He knows, I told him I have to share about balcony people. Balcony people are people that see something in you that you don't even see in yourself. They see some possibilities in you, like I see in you. I've always seen in you, that you don't see in yourself. And then they step alongside of you and walk the walk with you and teach you and train you, inspire you, whatever their role is, until you can stand on your own. That's a balcony person. You know why I got that idea is when I was younger, I was a dancer for about 9 years. And I would perform like at Fox Theater in Riverside, California Theater in San Bernardino, and they have beautiful balconies. And people, because they were tiered, people could stand up and cheer you on. How many of us don't love to be cheered on? And there's like 20 of us out there dancing on the stage, and I think they're cheering me. You know, but that's okay. It certainly built my confidence. So that's for me is that people that stand up and cheer you on and help you and inspire you. So basically, Joanne Wallace stepped into my life. I was chairman of, we lived in Oregon then, and I was chairman of a Christian women's club is what it was. And we had invited her to speak. And I lived in a town that's on the coast of Astoria and Columbia River, had 10,000 people. We moved from here 11 inches of rain a year to 100 inches of rain a year. And for the first time in my life, I was depressed for about 30 days. And the new pastor said to me, "No, you got to get over that." So he told me to, I did. But anyway, now that I think about it, maybe he was a balcony person. But anyway, so we had invited Joanne to come and speak for us. Now, this is a woman that owns her own self-improvement company, international company. She also is a model, shows up on Vogue magazine, all over the place. In my mind, way up here. And plus she's almost 6 foot tall. And she comes, we have our meeting, and I open the meeting. This is what's really funny. We had to work 3 months to decide what we're going to wear when Joanne came. I picked a pink outfit with a white blouse that had ruffles down the front. I opened the meeting, sat down. They had served chicken cacciatore in between, if you know that has an orange sauce. My white jabot went right through the middle of, because I didn't know how to pull my chair up, you know, it was a kind of thing. And so I'm looking at her, you know, I'm so intimidated already. Looking at her and I'm trying to get this orange sauce off my blouse. And I knew then even that orange didn't go with pink. But she was so gracious. She says, "Claudia, don't worry about it." I'm going, and she, "Don't worry about it. You're beautiful. You know, you do a great job. You know, don't even worry about it." So she then spoke, and I thought, I want to be her when I grow up. She's only 4 years older than me, but she seems so much older and greater. Anyway, so the meeting's over. People disappear after talking to her. She turns and she said, "I want you to have a franchise in my company. I want you to consider franchise in my company." I turned around to see who in the heck she's talking to. Now she's taller, so she could have been looking over me. I turned around and said, "Who's she talking to?" I looked at her and I could see there was nobody back there. I'm going, "Me?" And she said, "Yes, you." And I said, "Oh no, I'm just a frumpy housewife teaching sewing classes to pay for my kids' orthodontics and piano lessons." She said, "Oh no, Claudia, you're far more than that." And that changed my life. So she bugged me for about 6 months before I would say yes. Don't do that, you guys. Take your opportunity. I learned to take my opportunities sooner. But anyway, I finally said yes. She mentored me. She groomed me.
What kind of business was it?
It's a self-improvement company. It was a self-enrichment, self-improvement company for women. and it was an international company. Now what's really funny, and this is not bragging, I just want to share this, what the possibilities are. She got me all set up and trained. I became her #2 in the world top franchise owner. This frumpy little housewife, that happened, but she had stood with me till I was strong enough to then continue on. What I loved was that it was a Christian course, and that really was special.
How did you know that this aligned with your purpose? When she shocked you?
I didn't know then. That's when I began to learn.
Okay.
And that's why I teach it so much now, because don't wait till you're 32 years old to learn this. Learn it earlier. Learn now, right now. Start to work on paying attention and asking God, what's my purpose? What's my design? I have a wonderful story, probably not time to share, but my heaven story, can I share it real fast if I go fast? Okay, I have to share. Will you bear with me?
I don't think I could stop you if I wanted to.
I would stop. I am polite. I am stopped, but I love this story. I had taught in Joanne's company for a year. I had used her material, tried to teach it like her, tried to talk like her, tried to dress like her. Can you imagine somebody not 5'2" trying to dress like somebody 6 foot? But anyway, so I'm trying to be just like her because I had more confidence in her than in myself. And I always, every time, it was an 8-week course, and about 4th week in, I started bringing up more of the spiritual stuff, because people that came weren't all Christians, kind of thing. You didn't know. So anyway, I would share Psalms 139 when God was there in utter seclusion. He knew the innermost part of my being. He knew me, He designed me. And I would share that every 8 weeks. And then all of a sudden, after about a year, I woke up. I think I was awake. I don't know if it's a dream, a vision, I don't know. It doesn't even matter. But I'm in heaven. And bear with me on this. I was in heaven, and here's all these cubby holes around this room. There's a surgery table in the middle, all draped in white curtain here like a theater, and all around the room's these cubby holes. And in these cubby holes are things like that I had been discrediting myself about. Crooked nose, too many freckles, too short, short-waisted, always heavy, always fighting my weight, hot temper, which back then was pretty true, and a Miss Perfectionist. Those are just a few of the things, to give you a few. But anyway, so there's these little elf angels scurrying around the room, just precious, and they're grabbing things out of these cubby holes and putting them on the surgery table. Now I noticed down at the other end of this theater curtain stands God. And he's there dressed in white, just as we would expect God to be dressed. And he's standing there and he's watching what's going on this surgery table. And then he's doing this, and then he starts to smile a little. And I look out there and realize that what's coming together is me. That's looking just like me. And she's short, she's short-waisted, she's watching her weight. This is what he said. This is so funny. I just reminded my son of this a couple days ago. She's going to be short, but I'm going to give her a son someday that'll reach the top covers for her. And he was reaching way up tall. He's tall, a little taller than Eric. So anyway, but he did. He gave me that son. But anyway, so he was just picking all the things that I saw as negative about myself, and they were all happening. And then he said, "Stop! Don't do one more thing. She's perfect. She's perfect." I get goosebumps thinking about it. She's perfect. He said, "She's ready to ship out." Then he did this, put his thumbprint on my behind and said, "She's perfect, ship her out." Because I have a purpose for her that if she chooses not to do it, it won't get fulfilled. It's just for her. She's designed to fit that purpose. And then I realized when I began to kind of come to, I'd been waving a magic wand all these years, 32 years, waving a magic wand, wishing I was different, rather than realizing I was designed exactly like I was meant to be for what God's called me to do. And what's God called me to do, then I went on course to really figure out what that was. And I'll tell you, I know, it seems a little broad, but I'm here to inspire people to inspire people. So I'm here to inspire you to inspire somebody else. Not just one generation, 2 generations. As I get older, I want to go 3 generations. But that's what I'm here to do, to inspire you to see your potential and help you reach for your own personal A+ and never settle for second best. God doesn't want you to settle for second best. Because remember, he has a purpose for you to fill. And if the job doesn't get done, think whose life won't be different because you didn't step into your purpose.
So, I have so many questions.
Was that okay? I mean, did I take up too much time?
You got all kinds of we are running a little bit out of time, so I'm going to ask a couple more questions. So how do you, I mean, this is your business, inspiring people to inspire people.
I'm here to inspire, motivate, and educate. I'm a teacher.
Okay. How do you, if one of these people came to you and said, Ms. Cooley, I don't know my purpose. How am I supposed to find my purpose? I don't think God ever put his thumb on my behind. You know?
Well, you have to first of all, trust me, he did. He did do that. And then if you're a believer, you have to really believe he did that. He probably did a double do. You probably have a double dip. But how do you know? Actually, I get asked that a lot. It takes some prayer. Another thing I think is helpful is doing vision boards. Really kind of starts to show you what you love, and everything you love and that you're passionate about is part of your purpose. And you can almost sit back and look at your vision board if you do, and I'll send you the...
What's a vision board?
We're doing it in leadership right now.
See, they can tell you.
Okay.
But it's like picking out pictures of things you absolutely love. Not that you like, not that they're okay. It has to be what you absolutely love.
Okay.
I'll come back and do that, help you guys do that.
Okay.
Maybe you help you do a
I
vision
need a
board.
vision board.
Yeah, you do. Because when you look at your vision board, and she's done one, you sit back, and her husband's done one. And they didn't show each other at the time. And then you sit back and look at each other's, you learn a lot about that other person. The person learns a lot about themselves. And then you start looking in that and realize all your dreams and goals you didn't make them up. You came with them. It came with that purpose. And then you look at that vision board and it starts to come together. Maybe your heart's for children. Maybe your heart's for marriage counseling, whatever it is, but it'll show up on your vision board.
That's great.
Yeah, maybe your heart's to travel the world and serve in other areas. So.
Okay, let me open it up. Does anybody have any questions for Ms. Cooley?
Can I share one more thing before I go?
Yes.
You guys, don't limit yourself. I was 70 years old when I wrote my first book. I didn't know I was going to write a book, but it was just like the door opened. I said yes to it, and then everything flowed in for me to do it. And then I had an opportunity I grabbed onto, and the person that grew up in Grand Terrace, where Bank of America is, I walked Wall Street and interviewed the vice president of Deutsche Bank for the man I interviewed for my first book. So I always say yes to things that are aligned with your purpose, and then lean in and grab opportunity. Don't let it slip by. Set the intention to be paying attention to see what's coming your way that matches with who you are. Stay in your own lane.
Because that can be part of our self-talk. I'm too old for this. I'm too old to start
I'm
a
sorry.
new career. I'm too old to start
Do you have gray
writing
hair?
a book.
Oh yeah, I was going to say. So 70, first book. I didn't know it was going to be a bestseller. Then to be a #1 bestseller, and then an award-winning book, and with this fun cover, kind of thing for guys. This book's for guys, by the way. And then to have 4 more follow. So by the time I was 74, I had 4 #1 best-selling, award-winning books.
That's great. That's
Yeah.
great. Any questions?
I had one I forgot. You brought to me at the beginning that you were kind of like, you didn't talk about it. I forgot.
Was it about balcony people or mentors or?
It was around there. I can't.
When you think it'll come back. When it's meant to, he'll give you my email or phone number. You can call me. What is your name?
Louis.
Louis,
Yes.
you call me when you think of it. I know, I just go like garbage all over you. It's like you're just still the fire hose.
So Claudia, one more question. How do you talk to us about how you construct your day, your daily routine, so that you have the maximum amount of energy to get done what you want to? Because I'm tired just being next to you. You have so much energy. How do you
You
do
guys,
that?
I'm almost 76. In September, I'll be married 57 years to Mr. Wonderful. So it's stuck, you guys. How do I do? First of all, I stay healthy. I have a healthy mindset. I have a healthy body. I try to keep healthy finances going on, as well as my healthy contribution back. I feel like if you live in a place of gratitude, that will overflow to contribution, and my whole focus is contributing to others. I have a little note by my back door as I go out the door. It says, go out and make the difference in somebody's life and let them make one in yours today. So it's give and take. So I allow people to bless me. I try to bless others. That's my focus. That builds my energy. I am very healthy. I'm blessed. God's blessed me. And this is why I'm still going, because I feel God's giving me this health, this energy, this vitality, this passion to keep going. People keep saying, when are you going to retire? And I said, retire from what? You know, I'm playing, you know, kind of thing. Remember, it's a game. So
Thank you so much.
you're so welcome.